Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Hi to my new subscribers. So I'm doing this one quicker because I did not want to wait forever and a day. Last week was just ugh. So I listened to the latest podcast for episode 10 of season 2, Don't Take Me for Granted, and a lot jumps off in this episode. I always forget how much is going on in some of these episodes. And I have to say, one thing I noticed, especially in this last podcast, does anybody else feel like they're in therapy when they are listening to these podcasts? Because the girls have such psychological insight on their characters and the writing and everything that just happens, especially in this episode. And I was like, oh my God, this is very therapeutic. So let's get into it and see what I think about this one. Episode 10, Season 2, Don't Take Me for Granted. Man, I always forgot who ended up breaking that windshield. The fact that Lucas lied to Haley on Nathan's behalf is such a 180. No one would have thought that would have happened, and here we are. Brooke being like, ew, you two are related, right? Nathan and Lucas. I love it. I know Felix is mad with Anna, but dude, you are a jerk. And once again, Dan looks like he's being nice, offering Keith the vice president position. I want to believe, but it's just not true. Even with all the crap that Lucas and Brooke went through, I agree with Brooke. I miss Lucas and Brooke's little conversations. I like the way Felix telling Mouth it's okay to freak out, and that Felix says he freaked out last night. It's I like the subterfuge there, making you think he broke the window. Okay, so while I understand why Nathan feels the way he does about Haley hanging out with Chris or recording whatever, the way he was just I want you to stop hanging out with him. And it was a very Dan-esque edict, and I was like, I don't like that. I understand where you're coming from, but dude, this can't just be that kind of thing. It's got to be discussed, and you need to understand why Haley's doing this. But that kind of brings to mind, it's such a guy thing a lot of the time, because guys want what they want, and then when it happens, if it's not the way that they want it, they don't want it anymore. So it's so annoying. It's dude, you wanted her to record. So remember that. This guy can help her get there. You need to deal with your own insecurities, man. Stop taking it out on her. Totally always forget. I think I block it out, the whole dyke being written on Peyton's locker. It's so gross. And it's just it's funny because it's Brooke is oh, someone smashed my windshield. Could things get any worse? And Peyton's want to ask me that again? Bam, right? Sorry, Peyton wins this one. But I do love Brooke coming to the defense of Peyton, just well, of course they won't change in front of you. You look better than them. Just the classic Brooke kind of support, and I do love that. Dude, Anna dissing Peyton and Brooke just being unbelievable. So it's classic miscommunication. So definitely signs of old Nathan coming through when he goes to confront Chris. And I have to say, it kind of sucks because Chris has actually kind of got a point with the whole you should be able to trust Haley, but Chris is very smarty. So I'm just I don't blame Nathan for just throwing him against the wall and basically threatening him, because, there are many times throughout the series that you want to kind of take a swing at Chris Keller. So, yeah, it's they're both in the right and both in the wrong. I hate that Peyton's trying to reach out to her dad and he can't answer, and it just once again reiterates that she is really alone. I do appreciate that Peyton called Lucas out when he asked if she misses Jake. It's dude, I know you're trying, but she has a point. They haven't really truly talked in a while, so he really didn't have a leg to stand on in that, I think. Oh, Jules and Keith, and Jules trying to get Keith to go to Charleston. It's just more subterfuge, and I know it's coming, so it's just like really hard to even take that as like an awe moment. I like that Haley was like, yeah, you should let your mom know next time you want to lie to me. And then here comes Maura. That's like one of my favorite parts of this whole episode is when Maura goes off on Lucas about the heart test, because she's absolutely right. Like, I understand Lucas doesn't want to know, but she said it best, grow up. And then she's all like, yeah, that hero crap only works in the movies, and what they don't show you when it fades out is the hero's mother putting her foot up his ass. I love that Maura went to the guys at the basketball court too. They're like, oh, she's scared. Nope, you ain't touching a ball around us. Okay, so I forgot that Haley agreed to not see Chris anymore in this particular junction because she heard about Nathan having the heart test, and even though he's fine, she's like, it's put things into perspective momentarily. It's so weird seeing Dan have those moments of like when he tells Lucas, when my heart stopped, I saw you, and your mom can't afford that. And I want to believe that these are genuine moments, and I think that is a genuine moment. But it's so hard to believe with Dan. I love that quote that Peyton has Anna read. It's so true, feeding off the silence, not saying anything, and Peyton's absolutely right. You have to take a stand, and you can't let them feed off your silence. Silence is acceptance. Oh, Brooke slashing Felix's tires. I know he didn't break her window, but you know what? He still deserved that. Even though Jules had her own reasons for wanting Keith to leave to go to Charleston, I still always kind of wish that Keith had just left. He should have just left. Anybody else feel like Brooke was a little thrown off when Lucas fixes her window, and then here comes Anna because she's going to hug Lucas, and then here comes Anna, and Brooke's like, oh, it's like she's thrown off her axis a bit. Gotta love Peyton's just moxie, man. She puts Dyke on her shirt. She's like, okay, you want to say I'm a Dyke? Fine, let's play that game. Yeah, it is always interesting when Peyton takes off the shirt, because it's like, on one hand, it's like, oh, girl in a bra, but this was very much like the stand of, yeah, you don't want it on my shirt, but you haven't taken it off my locker. Like, it is such a double standard there. It's like, you go, girl. Sing your truth, okay? I always do feel for Mouth. Poor boy, he just likes Brooke so much, and he just let his emotions get the best of him. Woohoo! Felix's confession about having a girlfriend whom he really loved, and ever since she broke up with him, he just does, one night, he does friends with benefits, but it is very Dan-esque, it really is kind of hard. It's like you want to believe Felix, but it's hard to believe him a lot like Dan. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that it was Nathan that told Lucas's mom about him not taking the heart test. Oh wow, it's so like Nathan, old school, but it's like new Nathan too at the same time. It's like, I agree with what they said on the podcast. I think friends should have like a word where they can just say it, and they would be like, okay, everything's going crazy and I need to talk now, and just like their safe word. And it sucks that she's like, oh, I'm so glad you're not dating or you're not with Felix anymore, because I need you, Brooke. And then like here comes Felix, and Brooke's like, no. I hate that Chris kisses Haley, and I hate even more that she doesn't like immediately pull away. Ugh. I hate it for the whole Haley and Nathan aspect. I mean, as a woman doing your own thing, I guess I could see why she would lean into it. She hasn't had any really serious boyfriends, like they said on the podcast. But it's like, I hate how dismissive Chris Keller is about her marriage. It's like, okay, they got married young. I get it's easy to be that way, but like, it's so rude. It's like, okay, you really have no respect for her marriage, and by kissing her, you totally just proved that. I really also hate when guys constantly tell a woman, I know you want this. I know what you want. No, you don't. Shut up. I totally get Peyton being pissed at Anna about the whole when I needed you to stand by me, you weren't there, so get out. Like, I get that. I feel that. Everything Nathan told Lucas is correct and on point. I love Nathan's speeches. Another Felix speech to Brooke. Again, it's very Dan-esque. I want to believe you. I want to believe you're genuine, but it's like I feel the conflict with Brooke. Like she wants to believe it too, but like I don't know. I totally forgot that Deb shows up to Karen and is like, "I lied to you. I did sleep with Keith." I hate that when Keith tells Jules, answer your sheet, I love you. And she's sitting there listening to it, and you hear the devil's laugh, aka Dan. Dan totally set Keith up by way of Jules. What? Well, Anna may not wanted to have heard what Lucas said, but it's good that Lucas was honest about it for once. Oh my God, Jake showing up at that moment when the guy's about to hand Peyton the drugs is such a movie, book, TV kind of moment. It's like, how did he even know where you were? Haley even going to meet Chris Keller at that bus stop is just such a heart-stopping moment for us Haley fans. I still always find it crazy and wild that Brooke actually said okay to Felix. Like, it just blows my mind. I don't know. When Lucas shows up and is watching Brooke kiss Felix, like, because the door's open magically, I don't know. He looks mad, and it's just like, dude, you don't have a leg to stand on, like, at all. So, yeah, a lot popped off in that episode. It was crazy. It was wild. And it was enjoyable, though. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next week.